We are going to be working on the second half of Chapter 9. So we are going to expand what you know about classes and methods. And we are going to be working with properties. Properties are similar to, it's kind of like a combination between a public and a private field. So they do make writing code a whole lot faster, and there's a lot more flexibilities if you use properties versus fields. So you're going to learn about properties, and then we are going to be learning about a special type of field called a static field that is shared among the objects in a class. And a static field would allow you to accumulate transactions or accumulate totals. And so you'll see how that works. And then we will also take a look at static classes. So for this week, you're going to be reading the second part of the chapter, and these are the pages. And then you'll complete the understanding check and do the lab assignment. And we actually do not have a check-in this week. We had it last week. So do not worry about doing another check-in. You're done with those. And so what you're going to go on to is the reading assignment. And there is a video. I did include the examples in the video. And so if you want to know exactly where different information begins and ends, I actually broke down the time intervals for the different sections and where the examples start. So you can forward the video into whatever section you want to listen to. Then you will complete the understanding check. This is a little bit shorter. I think there's 5 questions, and they're worth between 1 and 3 points. So there's a lot more points associated with each question in this understanding check than the previous one. And then finally, you'll get into the lab assignment. And the lab assignment has 4 exercises. And I know that sounds like a lot. However, I am actually giving you code. So the focus of this assignment is properties, static fields, and static classes. So I am giving you code that you are then going to convert the fields from, in this case, it's a public field that you're going to convert into a property. And this particular file has both public and private fields, and they all need to be converted over into properties. And you will be converting them to auto-implemented properties, which are the simplest kind to use. And then there's some adjustments that you're going to make to sections of code, because once you convert over to properties, you do need to delete your set and get methods. And instead, you are going to use the property instead of the methods. So there are sections of your code that you're going to have to change. Example or exercise 5, you're going to take a sample, a shopper file. You're going to copy and paste it into your project. And again, you are going to be converting the fields. And I believe 2 of the fields you can do auto-implemented for, but one of them has business logic, so you will have to use regular property syntax. And that is what this exercise is kind of geared at. So as you read through the directions, it will basically tell you what you need to do. And then we get into exercise 6. I wanted to give you a little practice putting classes into separate files. And so with this, I am giving you, when I say a little program, I mean a very little program. This is the whole thing. And you're going to take these serial classes and you're going to put them in a different file. And they're going to have their own class and their own namespace. And then you're going to add a using statement to pull it in to the file that has your main method. And You are going to have to make a little adjustment to these 3 calls. But other than that, you aren't going to have to make too many other changes and it should run fine. So you're going to walk through the instructions for this. And then the last thing that you're going to do, and I'm giving you most of the code for this, you are going to create a new project. And then in your program CS file, you're going to copy the code that's in this link. You're going to create a new file in the project, calling it banking.cs, and then you're going to copy this code into it. And at this point, because both of the program CS and banking CS should be in the same namespace, you should be able to run this program. But you are going to notice that there is a problem because it is not accumulating the transactions. So what you're going to have to do is this is the output that you want, right, with the transaction increasing. But when you first run it, you're not going to see that. So you are going to need to go in and make the transaction property a static property. Okay, so the changes you make will be with regards to that. And once you get that working and tallying the number of transactions, then you will be done with this exercise. So none of these is going to take all that long. So this should be an easier week for you guys. However, if you do run into problems or if you get confused, please let me know because I will help you. And I did include some resources down here on classes and objects, more information on properties, properties and encapsulation, access modifiers, static classes and static members. So I've got some additional articles. And if you are still confused, let me know because I can meet with you and explain it, or I can perhaps create another video and share it with you. So I hope you guys all have an awesome week. Let me know if you run into problems or have questions.